Hi, this is a review of the Wopad i8. It can be purchased from merrymobiles.com, and let's get started. It is an 8-inch 4x3 form factor. It has a really nice 1024 by 768 resolution screen. It has a 1.2 gigahertz Rockchip RK2918 processor, 512 megabyte of DDR3 RAM, and 8 gig of built-in NAND flash. And the screen is also a 5-point multi-touch, so that's also really great. And one other cool feature, this has a front camera and it has a back camera, which I haven't seen on any of the tablets I've reviewed so far. So let's kind of dig in a little deeper here. On the top of it, you'll find a power button and a menu and a back button. And on the bottom, you'll find, and we can actually flip that over, it'll be labeled for us, a headphone jack, a USB port, the power port, HDMI out, the TF card or micro SD card, another USB full-size port here, and there's a reset switch also right here. And you can see there are 2 screws. Those would make it easier to get into. I haven't opened this one up yet, but I do plan to. And there's a microphone over here on the edge. And then on the back, you can see here we've got dual speakers, and right up here is that the camera on the back side. And you can see everything's labeled nicely along the device. There's not much on the bottom of the other 2 sides. One thing I do want to point out, this device is really thin. It's the thinnest tablet I've seen so far. Feels pretty nice, not too heavy. But just really it doesn't have a lot of bevels. So I'm going to bring over 2 other devices that I think are top of their class also right now. This one here is the Mid 816R2. This is running a Samsung 1 gigahertz processor and is a 2-point multi-touch screen. But you can see by dimensions that the i8 is actually a little shorter than the 816. There's less bevel along the top there. It's also a bit thinner, but the Mid 816R2 does feel nice. And then one other device I have here, this is the C8. There's also now a C8 Plus, which has volume buttons on the top there. But again, in terms of thickness, the Wopad i8 wins out for thickness. But if you're looking for a 7-inch tablet, the C8 is a good one to go. Again, it has that Samsung processor. And again, there's the Mid 816. So we'll have to set those aside. And let's go ahead and get this puppy powered on. So I'm gonna plug it into power here. Ooh, where'd you go? There we go. And you'll see it's booting up. It does have Android 2.3 installed on it. And in using this device, I found it to be a very capable device. The Rockchip processor does a nice job, and we'll show some demos of some different programs. Between the Rockchip processor and the Samsung processor that's in the Mid 816R2 and the C8, the Rockchip handles video really well. It's actually able to play my 1080p sample file, which I haven't seen from the Samsung ones, but the Samsung seem to play games a bit smoother. The Rockchip will play the games, it just seems to be a little more fluid. So as you can see, we're booted up to your standard Android screen here, and we'll just slide up. The resolution, the DPI on this device is really low, so the icons are really small, and it's actually already set up to allow for a lot of icons on the screen. And it's kind of interesting. Let's grab another one here. You can actually set them. Yeah, just around. You can see they're actually pretty tiny icons. So let's go into the settings. Menu, settings. As you can see, it works well, and again with that higher or lower DPI, you can fit a lot on the screen. In the About device, you can see it's listed model number TR810, Android 2.3.1. Let's go back. And all your kind of standard screen settings. It does have HDMI out, which you can turn on, and then also set your the screen zoom And the resolution, as you can see, it does do 1080p out and everything else in between. With wireless and networks, you can choose your Wi-Fi network to connect to. Also, you can see it is set up for mobile 3G networks. It doesn't have a 3G card in it, but you can put an external one and do your settings. Let it get connected to Wi-Fi there. And in your sound settings, if I could click on the screen correctly. Ringtones, it does have an option for haptic feedback, but I don't believe the device actually has haptic feedback. But again, all your standard information you see, and here we have storage. I don't have an external card in there, but if we go down and we check the NAND flash, you'll see that it is listed as 5.8 gigs of total space for your own personal storage. The rest is being used by the system. Now this device doesn't have built-in physical volume switches. There is volume controls up here on top, which I'm just going to lower the media volume a bit. But one app that I found very useful to adjust your volumes is Audio Manager widget. You can find it on the market. Use the small version, add the widget, and now from here you can control all of the various sound settings. So we can drop those down. Here we go. And voila, our sounds are lowered. I'm going to pull up the Dolphin browser here. Very nice browser. You can do tab browsing with it. And we're going to go to Mary Mobile's website. And we have pretty much the full page loaded up here. But you can see that works fine. Now there is a Wopad i7. It's a 7-inch version. Basically has the same rest of the hardware being the processor and everything that way. So if you're looking for a 7-inch tablet, there is right here the Wopad i7 is $185 right now. It's also known as the Wopad 2. And then the Wopad i8 is right there with dual cameras. And you can see the specs there that I was talking about. So very nice device, although apparently there is an issue with the certificate it doesn't like. Get out of there. Let's go ahead and pull up Angry Birds. As you can see, we've been playing this out here. No lag at all. Plays beautifully. So that's Angry Birds. No issue there in performance. And that's with the full background and everything going for it. Another cool game is Heavy Gunner. And this one is a bit more graphic intense, but takes good advantage of the multi-touch screen. And it'll take just a minute to load here. it's always good to calibrate it. So as you can see, performance is good, smooth. We're going to abort the mission there. Put that puppy back down. And exit out. Adobe Reader, a lot of times people just wonder how they do. PDF files here. Got a lot of different music on there. As you can see, the PDF loads fine. And you can do Aldeco for ebooks, and we're just going to load up Fruit Ninja here real quick, just to show the 5-point touch screen. So there's 2, 3, 4, oops, and 5. So you can be a Fruit Ninja master. Oh, frenzy! Just what we need. So that's Fruit Ninja. Fun game if you like to slice fruit. For video, we're going to use Mobile Player here. Found it does a nice job, and we're just going to add in some video files. Mobile Player is really nice. It allows you to adjust the volume by sliding up and down here on the screen. You can move forward and back in the file along the top here, and you can adjust the screen brightness along the left hand side. So it just gives you some nice while you're playing features. And we're going to change the look of this test. And I've got 3 files in here right now. Start with the 480p MPEG, which plays well, nice and smooth. 720p MPEG. And again, still playing just smooth as can be. And 1080p. And for the MPEG, it does a great job running 1080p. Some other ones have had issue doing that. So for video performance, the rock chips do a really great job. Gaming performance, they handle the job just fine. You wouldn't really notice the difference if you didn't use multiple tablets. It does everything you need it to there. And the system program here is really good. It gives you a lot of information on the device, and also it works as a task killer. So for the device itself, you can see 600 minimum clock, 1 gigahertz maximum clock. So this device will tone down the processor when it's not needed, which creates some really good battery life savings. And for power, storage, you can see all the different areas that way. So overall, I find the Wopad i8 to be a great device. Again, really thin. Performance is really good, and it's the only one I know of that has dual cameras on it. So that's good if you want to take pictures, and it's also good if you want to do video chatting. And it does come with the market. It has the newer version of the market, and it's good for ebooks, reading, basically everything you want it to do. Facebook, just have yourself a time. So that's the i8. I give it a good review, and if you're looking for a smaller size, there is the Wopad i7 alternative. Thanks for watching. Bye.